Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope you're getting a good start off to your weekend. So, a lot of Batman stuff going on today. There were some leaked photos of the set of the movie of Batman in a full suit. The full suit that we didn't get to see the whole suit when they officially released a little like mini trailer of Robert Pattinson in the suit. But now, as expected, set photos are being leaked, and it was actually not a picture of Robert Pattinson, or pictures. It was a stunt double in the suit, and we get more of a head-to-toe look, but not with the cape. I'm not going to put the pictures in the video because people are getting like suspended, and their accounts, different social media accounts, are getting flagged and suspended because the pictures are leaked. They're not official releases. So I'm not going to put them in here, but I'm sure you have seen them by now. It's a very different look from the previous Batman suit that we had with Ben Affleck, which, I mean, we could tell that in the official little camera test footage. But now seeing it in a more natural light instead of that red filter light, it's definitely more like ninja tactical style. And the ears are they're pretty long and they're very thin. There's a lot of like armor pieces, kind of, it's not like one fluid piece of a suit. There's like a lot of different things. Like I said, kind of armor, like a bunch of different pieces. However, there is, it's said that from the person who took these photos and stuff like that, supposedly this is a suit that we see early on in the movie, which you can tell this is a young Batman. Obviously, Robert Pattinson is playing a younger Batman early in his Gotham career as a vigilante, so it's probably expected to see some kind of upgrade to his suit throughout sometime in the movie, and that it's probably not just going to be this only suit that we see in these leaked photos. But I also want to, speaking of Batman, I want to read a statement from Ben Affleck that he said to Cinema Blend when doing a press release for his upcoming movie, The Way Back. So, more Ben Affleck stuff. My last video was also about Ben Affleck, but that was more of his... he spoke a little bit about Batman, focusing on his sobriety and why he walked away from that. So I spoke about that in my last video, if you haven't seen that. But... apparently, according to this Cinnamon Blend article, his statement, what he said, which I'll read in a second, came up because they expressed their appreciation for his support for the Snyder Cut, and this happened on, of course, the 2-year anniversary of Justice League release on November 17th, when hashtag release the Snyder Cut was just trending for like a couple of days. And of course, when Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot and a whole bunch of other people in, you know, the cast, the crew, and just people in entertainment in general were tweeting it. But when Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot, who have been pretty quiet about it, when they shared that it was like a pretty big deal, they just expressed their support for that and said thank you, and he took the initiative to say this without being asked specifically. I didn't know about it. Zack was like, hey, they're doing this thing, and I said, Zack, I love you, I support you, however I can help you. I do think that movie, you know, having 2 directors is a very weird thing. And for Justice League, the director had a family tragedy. So you have kind of a cow's body with a horse's head, a little bit with 2 directors a lot of times, for better or for worse. I do think Zack's cut should be available. So, wow. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of people who feel that way, but it's pretty significant for him to actually say that, especially without being asked specifically, like, do you think that we should be able to see Zack Snyder's cut? Or can you share with us why you tweeted hashtag release the Snyder Cut on November 17th? They didn't really say that. It explains that, what does it say? We didn't even go into this interview asking for a comment from Ben Affleck. We merely thanked him and made it clear how much his support meant to the people in the movement. So it says, but Ben Affleck made it clear that he wanted to weigh in. He wanted to make it clear that he supports Zack Snyder and still supports the director with which he collaborated for years. and that it should be available. That's how he feels, which Jason Momoa has made that clear plenty of times in the past, but it's just been more recently that, you know, like Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck have spoken out about it. But when he tweeted hashtag release the Snyder Cut, he didn't say anything. That's all he said, which, I mean, that was enough. But like I said, without even being asked about it specifically, just being thanked for it, and not even trying to, you know, get a certain question in about it, he took the initiative, like, okay, this is my chance to say how I feel about it, how I honestly feel about it. And so that's a pretty bold statement to make. Not that he doesn't have the right to, they all have the right to. Just like we have the right to ask Warner Brothers and HBO Max and AT&T to, you have all these platforms and stuff to make it available, you know. And that this statement, coupled with what he said in my last video, his New York Times interview about, you know, when showing the Batman script, and that it was good, but that these people thought that, you know, it was going to drive him to start drinking again because of the stress he went through with Justice League. I mean, now he's getting a little bit more detailed about how he really felt when it was going on, when he found out that Joss Whedon was going to take over. And I think it's probably safe to say that most of them probably felt similar, the cast members, because, I mean, they probably didn't think that they would, I mean, maybe they didn't realize the extent to which, like, they were actually going to cut so much of Zack's movie out of the final cut, because obviously the cast, they just shoot the movie, and then they do reshoots, which majority of movies do anyway, but they don't know what the final product's going to be until they see it. They don't know what's going to happen in the editing room. They don't know what's going to be on the chopping block. They don't know what they're going to replace from the reshoots. They don't know what they're going to cut out. So they were probably just as shocked as the rest of us when they sat down and watched it for their first time, given what they shot with Zack before. So it's not surprising that they feel this way. I mean, they put in a lot of time and work and effort for these characters in this movie, and having finally the first, like, you know, big live action Justice League movie, and having all these characters on screen together, it was probably, you know, as frustrating as it is for us, it's probably a lot worse for them. Them being the ones that this actually happened to firsthand, and Zack Snyder, of course. So yeah, I appreciate Ben Affleck saying that, and, you know, being open about it and not holding back how he feels about it. So thanks, Ben Affleck, for the continued support, and all the other cast members who supported as well. Again, I don't think Henry Cavill will be as open about it as the other cast members, because his character is more up in the air with Warner Brothers, since they don't say anything about him being Superman again. I think he's just treading more carefully until he knows for sure what's going to happen with his character. And I don't really blame him for that. Like, I know people kind of get upset when he says or doesn't say something, or doesn't get involved, or he kind of stays quiet about it. I think he's just trying to tread carefully until something is more set in stone with Superman. Or until it's announced that it is coming out somehow. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Check out the links in the description. There is a huge anniversary sale going on the Activewear website for the apparel that I'm an ambassador for. You can still use my promo code to get an additional 15% off of already very marked down prices. So use my link and the promo code in the description. And thanks, guys, for watching. See you next time. Hashtag release Snyder Cut.